This is my review of the Robin Hood 2018 movie, starring Taron Egerton, who people may know from the Kingsman movies. Obviously, people must obviously know who Jamie Foxx is. Eva Hewson, who I had no idea was actually the daughter of the lead singer of U2, Bono, is her father, which I had no idea until I was looking through the Wikipedia and IMDb of the movie. And obviously you got Jamie Dornan. So anyway, most people would be aware of Robin Hood, starting from the days of Errol Flynn playing Robin Hood, and then in the UK in the late 80s, there was a series called Robin of Sherwood, which I think it was ITV, which I loved watching. I mean, it was a great series. I think they only did two seasons, I think, and they had in the second season it was a different person playing Robin Hood, but it wasn't the same character, Robin Hood, which most people kind of believe that that they say that Robin Hood was a nobody knows if the story of Robin Hood is actually true or not. There are many historians that kind of believe that there have been many people that have gone about using the name, so it's not necessarily pinned down to one character, or if the actual story is actually true of Robin Hood. But we all know that sometimes things can be over time, can be when people tell the stories over time and they're passed on, that things could be misinterpreted and then changed as time goes on. So nobody quite knows. Then I'm trying to move on. Then the film that most people will know is Prince of Thieves, and obviously that was Kevin Costner playing the lead title of Robin Hood, playing obviously with an American accent, which I know kind of bothers some people, but unless you can train somebody to the actor to actually do a proper English accent, then I'd rather they do their natural accent rather than try to do a fake accent, and it really comes across just being really kind of corny. But because the movie is so good, you could, for me, you can kind of see past that. And obviously you got Alan Rickman yet again, the late Alan Rickman, who again was playing the sheriff of Nottingham, and again obviously he's very good at playing bad guys, especially from Die Hard 1 where he played Hans Gruber. So you expect a great performance in that, and obviously people will remember the Bryan Adams song, which was at number one for months. So that was probably most people's favourite incarnation of Robin Hood. And then there's been spoofs of Robin Hood, and I think there was a Men in Tights, which I think was directed by Mel Brooks, and I think there was a Robin Hood, I'm trying to remember, a Disney animated movie from, well, if people can if I stand corrected if I've remembered that wrong, but I do kind of remember that, so people can correct me in the comment section. There also was a movie, a Robin Hood movie, which I haven't watched it. Watched it with Russell Crowe in the lead title as Robin Hood. So eventually I will get around to watching that, and I will do a review of that as to say what I think of the actual movie. And then there was a BBC Robin Hood TV series that was on BBC like a few years ago. I can't remember how many series they actually did, but I watched the first season. After that, I kind of drifted away from it, not because I didn't like it, but it's one of those where you kind of forget that it's kind of on. But anyway, this, as I know, didn't do very well at the box office. As far as I know, it didn't do. It was compared to the budget that they spent on the actual movie. When I actually bought this particular movie, I did buy it secondhand, so I only paid £1.50 for it. So you can't kind of go wrong for it. And my overall assessment of the actual movie is that, for me, maybe I actually liked it. I mean, I'm not going to turn and say that it's a classic or I kind of loved it, but I actually did like it more than what I thought I would have done. Um, what I did kind of like about it, well, the positives is that I thought the actors in the role were like really good. Um, Obviously, with it being a retelling, rather than sitting and going down the same route, whereas most some of the Robin Hood films are about, it decides to shake things up a little bit by changing a few things in there. So at least you're getting kind of a fresh take on the actual movie. The action in it is kind of is actually really good. Even like some of the female characters that they have in it, they don't necessarily make them out to be the damsel in distress. So that was kind of really really good. So I really enjoyed that. The actual cinematography, I actually really liked too. That was really great. And then as I said before, because it's telling you kind of a different story to the normal Robin Hood films that are around. You kind of didn't know what was going to happen next. And right, because with most, let's say, Robin Hood incarnations, obviously you've got the Robin Hood, Maid Marian, Sheriff of Nottingham, and then you've got obviously Robin Hood and his merry men. Now, in this version of Robin Hood, this isn't really a spoiler, really. There's no merry men in it, or maybe they would have implemented that those characters in there if the film had got a sequel, which I highly doubt that this movie is kind of going to get. But overall, I would say for me personally, I mean, I was highly entertained and engaged in the actual movie. So I really liked it. Maybe it's because I not that I say I'm an expert on Robin Hood, but obviously being in the UK and obviously this folklore about the actual character, you're always fascinated by a character such as Robin Hood. Again, they don't show what I also did like is that they didn't show. It wasn't as if the character was perfect from the very beginning. Obviously, he starts off one way, and then the character actually grows, and then becomes like the archer that he ends up becoming. So, I actually like that he had to trim, that he wasn't like, say for example, the actual finished article in what the character should have been. So there was kind of growth and depth in the actual character. Now, some of the kind of negatives. Again, there are bits of it where obviously where Robin Hood, as we know, goes to the Crusades, and for me, of all the cinematography and the action of that particular section of the film was great. For me, it looked a bit too modern, especially with the clothes and the way they were. At first, when it went to that bit of the movie, it felt as if I was watching, say, somebody somebody was going to war in Afghanistan. The way it looked almost too modern. So I don't know if it's just me kind of just nitpicking. Then there's the usual romance where you get obviously the two characters obviously liking each other, and then there's the third wheel, and then the third character starts to get jealous, and then we all know that the person is going to become bitter and enraged. So that was a kind of a bit, well, maybe just me because I'm not into like romantic stuff really. So that to me was kind of like, oh god, it was like drawn, here we kind of go again, where you could kind of see that coming. Now, bear in mind that this version of Robin Hood is a lot darker than the Robin Hood films I've seen. Again, I don't know if the Russell Crowe version of that is going to be dark or just as dark or so we'll see when I get around to watching it. But that was quite, but it was a really dark movie in terms of obviously people getting their head chopped off, blood and gore. So I mean, not that it kind of bothers me, but maybe it might bother some people, you know, where they're trying to think that they're trying to capture a certain type of audience. One actor that I forgot to kind of mention is Ben Middleton. I know that I think I know he's an Australian actor. He plays the sheriff of Nottingham in this movie. Now, I have to admit, as a villain, he was kind of really good because he came across. You kind of almost, especially when you learn about his origin story, you kind of almost kind of feel sorry for him. But yet, at the same time, you kind of realize that he's kind of a nasty piece of work as well, and he's kind of really kind of evil. So it's kind of you almost like you're rooting for him, but kind of not. Now, Ben Middleton, obviously, he's another actor, again, for me, who's very, very good at playing villains, because he played a villain in Rogue One, in Star Wars Rogue One, should I say, and to me, he was very good in that. He was also in The Dark Knight Rises, where obviously he was playing a villain in that, and he was not. So, he's kind of what you would like to call the kind of go-to villain that you need for a movie. But for me, he was kind of great, and he always gives a solid performance in all the roles I've ever seen him in. But yeah, as I said, for me, as I said, I like the fact that they didn't go around the same route as the typical most Robin Hood movies, and yeah, again, it was a little bit different. But yeah, but for me, I actually enjoyed it. I didn't feel like, you know, like sometimes you can watch a movie and then you feel like that you've just wasted 2 hours of your life, or whatever, how long the movie is, watching a movie, and you feel like you wasted time. For me, I felt like I did come away enjoying the actual movie for what it was, and that, because I only paid £1.50 for it, I suppose that made it even more sweeter. Now, if it was a new film that was in the cinema, would I have gone and watched it? To be truthful, I don't know, but then maybe I probably would have paid full price. I mean, out of curiosity, especially again because of the subject matter of Robin Hood. So yeah, I mean, if you can like find this movie really cheap, or maybe it's on some kind of streaming service where where you don't have to go out of your way to pay for it, I would sit there and say, watch it. I mean, you'll enjoy it for what it is, but don't go expecting it to be the typical Robin Hood folklore story that you've kind of seen in the past, or maybe even read about. But I would say go into it with an open mind, and you know, maybe you might like it. But yeah, I would say it's kind of a shame that we're probably not going to get a sequel, because it would be interesting, and especially with the ending of it. And then I think there's if I remember correctly, yeah, there is a post-credit scene at the end of the movie. So yeah, it's for me, it is a little bit of a shame that you're not gonna get a sequel to this movie, because I think it could have had potential, especially if they've gone down the road of obviously with what happened in the movie, and maybe they could have introduced his merry men, and we could have seen some of the classic characters. Like, obviously there is a Friar Tuck in this, I think, but I don't know if he's called Friar Tuck. But there is a friar in it. But it just would have been interesting to see them develop that story aspect of the Robin Hood folklore, and then, you know, see more of that development. But I guess we're kind of never going to know about that now. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the actual movie. But yeah, I mean, I liked it for what it was. Anyway, I hope people found this video informative. Feel free to like, because it really helps with finding my channel. Also, feel free to share this video, and also, if you haven't, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm hoping to try and do more movie reviews, but they're probably going to be random. There might be new video if I ever go back to the cinema. I might do reviews as I've reviews as I've come out the cinema, maybe one day, or maybe just films that I've watched or in my collection. I might start doing those over the coming months, and or maybe even years if I'm still around. So keep a lookout for you know, more movie reviews, especially if people like hearing my opinion. And again, as I state, this is my opinion. It's not you know it's just what I think of it. Maybe other people might have a completely different opinion, or maybe people might agree with me. So it should be nice to try and do more reviews, and then hopefully I'm gonna try and do some TV show reviews, but it'll have to be season by season. So anyway, take care. Bye for now. Stay safe.